it does, yeah.
Right, good evening everyone.
So it's a bit too...
I was going to say that.
Good evening everyone, it's 7 o'clock, so we'll make a start. Can I welcome you all to our interim provisional meeting for the Brent Knoll Parish Council. We've got 2 or 3 items on the agenda tonight, so we'll work our way through those. Can I welcome everyone who's come and joined us this evening on a bitterly cold evening. Can I just check before we get on to the agenda itself, do we have any members of the public who've asked to speak?
Yes, Mrs. Barry would like to speak, and I believe, gentlemen, you'll have to remind me of the name again.
Carl, no, I've got no
Yeah.
plans to speak, just to listen and answer any questions that you may have, that's all.
Okay. Sheila, would you like to
Yep.
go first? Thank you.
Some of you have got a copy of my notes, you may wish to follow, but I'll read out, so it may feel rather stilted. It's read the planning application of my neighbour. Whilst in principle I do not have any objections to the applicant wishing to modernise his property, I do have a few reservations which I feel should be made known. I am concerned at the height and size of the southeast extension. Ideally, it should follow the building line of the existing conservatory, thus retaining the amount of light to our property. From the plans, it appears that the height is to be taken up to the ridge of the main roof. This would have the effect of losing much light on that side of our property, and also a feeling for us of being very boxed in. If this is a single-storey extension, I question why the roof has to be so high. There's also, number 2, installation of 2 roof lights in the southeast extension. I would like to see the lights limited in size so that they cannot be used at any future time as a viewing point, thus retaining the privacy of our property, which it currently has. No one overlooks us. I've referred in the past to the drainage system of 101 Brent Street, and I reiterate that need for care when adapting or modernising properties. The drainage system of 101 Brent Street runs across our property, number 99, and goes up our driveway to the main sewer. Because of problems in the past, when the main sewer was high, an NRV has been fitted. And this, you all know what an NRV is, I imagine. A non-returnable valve. This works very well. I have to turn over, sorry. But of course, if that valve has shut for whatever reason, usually it's the high volume of fluids in the main sewer, then the drainage system of our properties are unable to work. Thus it makes sense not to purposely direct surface water into the drains. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you very much. No, there any questions you have at this point? No. Okay, thank you very much. If no one else wants to say anything, we'll start with the meeting agenda itself.
Can you speak up, Bob?
Sorry, yes I will. So
Please.
we'll start with the agenda item 1, which is apologies for absence. Have we had any apologies?
Yeah, we had 3 apologies from Andy Holmes, David Knott and Amanda Reason.
Excellent, thank you. Are members happy to approve those apologies? That's clearly carried. We move on to declarations of interest. I'll start my normal declaration as a member of Somerset Council, and also notification of the dispensation I have as a shareholder in the shop. Any other declarations from members? Colin?
Shop.
Tracy?
Shop.
And
Shop.
Jim? And
Shop.
Thank you. Any other declarations? No, thank you. So, that's the consideration and decisions that we have for today. What I will just say at this point is we've got an item which is down as item 3C relating to tenders relating to the building project. Just to give notice at this point that obviously because what we're looking to do is to make sure that we can make members aware of the sums that are involved in those tenders, we will have to exclude press and public when we get to that item on the agenda because it remains a confidential item at the moment until the tenders are actually decided. So just particularly for the members of the public, just so you know that's going to be coming later. And what we will also do is, because we're excluding press and public, the camera gets turned off as well, so it won't be viewable later on YouTube. Okay, so move to planning applications. We'll start with 072331, which is the 101 Brent Street. Colin, do you want to give the background?
Can you put up scheme proposal 2, it is, please, scheme proposal 2. I might need your help.
Any questions at all?
Okay. Okay. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong now, please. Thanks, Bob. This is the front elevation which will be facing the road. So this is what you will see from Brent High Street, okay? This is the elevation which will be along the, if you like, the lane that goes down to the field.
No, it's the other side.
So this will be then the elevation that goes down to the field. Okay,
Absolutely.
sorry. Okay. So this will be the elevation that is abutting onto your house, which is number 98, would it be?
99.
99. So this would be abutting onto number 99. This view is the view at the rear of the house, which is overlooking the fields. Okay, and notwithstanding the drainage issue, these, I assume, are the windows that you are complaining about.
No, I'm not complaining. They're not even there yet. But the idea that they should be restricted in size
I think
so that in future years they cannot be made a viewing point.
I'll be honest with you, just to eliminate that then, obviously the fact the plans clearly haven't been looked at properly because that's a vaulted ceiling and you would need to be about 13 foot tall to even look at them.
Yeah.
So they could never be a viewing point. That the whole point of the back is it's going out just an additional 2 metres. Obviously the roof is the other way to eliminate any shadow or anything on any other properties. But those windows, like I said, unless you were on a ladder or you were about, in fact, probably 23 foot tall, you would never be able to look at them.
Okay, so
They're purely for life.
thank you. So what I'm not quite, is this then the front of the house?
That's right. If you look at the
that
top
views
left,
onto
if you look at the top left, see the little triangle bit to the right,
top
bottom left, bottom left.
there.
Yeah, see the little triangle bit?
That is there.
That is that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the rear, though, you've got this reduced. What am I saying? This is the view. This is the view that will overlook
99.
99.
Yes.
Okay. Where is then? Is this a reduced height, which you've got? No, that's the front of the house, isn't it? So you've got a reduced height ceiling for your rear of the house, haven't you?
No, it goes to the ridge of the current property.
It goes to the ridge. Okay.
It doesn't at the moment.
At the
No,
moment,
no,
at the moment, it's a flat conservatory.
if I can just say, unfortunately, I mean, this part should be for members to be debating. We can't really
I
keep
think-
engaged, but if
Oh
there's a
no, sorry, it's
question-
just that the questions are so.
Understood.
If you don't know what side of the house you're looking at, you probably
Absolutely.
about.
Understood.
Yeah, I just need to clarify, so, and it's good that you're here, just need to clarify what exactly you are proposing, because if you take, unfortunately we can't show, but the footprint of the existing property,
Without wishing to engage again, would
No,
it just
I-
make
I-
sense if I walked up and showed you?
I think for a minute, if we just suspend the meeting for a moment,
Yeah.
and then we will, just bear with us, Colin.
Yeah.
If you want to just come up and
Okay.
point out, and then we'll restart the meeting.
Okay, okay.
When you were.
Oh, that'd be an health and safety nightmare.
It would be.
Right, so the front, okay, the only thing that is changing on the front is the windows are being replaced. Okay, they're slightly smaller. 1960s, from one end to the other, that's going. Everything else staying the same. On the back, at the moment, if I were to draw a line there, which I won't, so this ridge isn't there at the moment, what you have is a conservatory that is about 1 metre in that side, and about 3 metres in that side, which comes out 3 metres with a flat roof. That is being demolished. This construction is going in, comes out 2 extra metres, but obviously cognizant of the light and everything else, and that's obviously what we've advised on, rather than replace the roof and do that, which would cause potentially extra shadow, although if you've ever seen the sun in Brent Knoll, it wouldn't. But we've done it that way to make sure that it's absolutely not an issue. Does that help? So it's this bit
Absolutely.
is new, kind of this triangular bit really, but all of it is 2 metres out further.
Yeah, it's certainly a dominating extension, because in theory, if I'm wrong here, it is across the back here, yeah?
Yes.
So essentially, you're losing quite a lot of the garden is being lost.
No, because it's already a conservatory. It's only a 2
Are
metre.
you then building to the edge of your existing conservatory at this moment?
So up to the edge
Can
and
you
2
hold
metres
the
beyond.
line, please? I understand.
Bob, this is
Can you
quite
show us the picture which shows the footprint?
Yeah.
My understanding from what was said is there is an existing 3 metres of conservatory. The new build is going a
There-
further 2 metres beyond.
That's what
That's-
So,
it's
Existing floor
it's
plan,
called
isn't
existing
floor
survey.
plan, existing floor plan.
Existing survey it was called. Okay, that's right. That's
There we are.
that's okay. So there's the conservatory, existing
That's right.
conservatory, and that's your garage, which you're going to knock down. Well, it seems that the footprint is being increased beyond this existing conservatory. That's the point that I'm seeking to make.
Yeah, about 2 metres.
And it's the and what 99 are saying, the extension of that with the pitched roof will be dominating 99. That's what 99 are saying. So it's rather difficult to show you, but the front will remain the same, and it's all happening at the back, and the conservatory will come down, and then this will be built right across the back, i.e. if we get rid of...
That's the other one, actually. That's the first one.
Yeah, there's the conservatory, and that comes down, and then this is being put in its place. And if you can get rid of that,
Yeah.
and we want the other drawing. The scheme proposals. There, that is the structure that's being put in its place. The flat roof will go, and the pitched roof will go, will be there and butted into the existing roof structure. So, what do you have before you? A considerable development at the rear of the property. We know that the roof lights are only for probably extra illumination in the roof space, because the roof space is not big enough to develop anyway. It's certainly in keeping. It won't affect the road view. It will be all out in the back of the property. I'll leave it with you to consider.
Melina, you indicated.
Yeah, there was a proposal that was already passed, wasn't there, that was larger than this one. So what they're actually asking for now is smaller than what they've already got planning permission for anyway.
Yeah, the existing, the last application was erection of a southwest extension on site, i.e. the conservatory to be demolished, the demolition of a detached garage, which is still happening, the raising of the main roof with a rear dormer to create living space. So in other words, they aren't going down up into the roof now, they are maintaining the existing roof, they're not building in the roof. Rising of the front gable, changes to window and door arrangements, erection of a northwest carport and boundary fence. We supported that, and there weren't, to my knowledge, any objections to that at the time. Now, we've got a very similar one, but they obviously aren't going into the roof, they're just demolishing the existing conservatory and seeking to take up a bit more of the footprint of the house to make the accommodation on one level.
Melina.
Oh, I was just going to say, I propose that we pass this.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay.
No, I second it. I agree.
Okay. Any other comments or questions that anyone has?
So straightforward. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's passed with no observations.
What
No, I
proposal
pass.
was,
I
was the support of
Propose
the,
to pass, yes, support,
Yeah.
rather than no observations.
Those no observations.
Okay. Well, we've got a, so in terms of support, obviously, if we're going to go for support, we need to have a reason for that. So if...
Can I suggest that it is on the basis of home improvements and modernisation of an older property to make it, to bring it up to date, for want of a better word, in living accommodation.
Okay, just
I like the word cosy, if you want.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Other proposal on the second, are you happy with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case, we have the recommendation to support. Those in favour of that, please show. That's unanimous. All those who can vote either abstaining, because in case this comes before us at committee. Okay, thank you very much.
I apologise
Well,
for
okay.
Yeah.
Is that, sorry.
We don't want to
Can I
hostage.
go now? I was doing it.
And does that count for good behaviour? Or...
The rest I'm sure is incredibly interesting, but I keep interrupting.
All right,
Thank
no
you.
worries.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See ya.
So we've got the second application is 072329, which again members may remember from a previous time round. It's Westways in Harp Road, right
Yes,
on the
sir.
boundary of us and Mark.
Yeah,
Comment.
this in fact is registered as a Mark application and not Brent Knoll. But just from, you remember when you go down it is Harp Road, isn't it? There's a little bungalow right on the corner, which hasn't been, it was lived in for many years, and now it's obviously vacant, and but it occupies just this small plot on the corner. Okay. I've had a look at the planning application, and to be honest with you, it is poor, in all honesty, and I would propose, notwithstanding that it's not ours, I would not accept this proposal at the moment on the basis that it's not a proper planning application. There aren't proper drawings. There's nothing really. I've had a look on the site.
Does this proposal, does it extend out too much over the property?
Yes, it would certainly comprise an overdevelopment of the site. That's all I found.
So that's the elevations.
It's a little tiny paddock, isn't it?
Can you show again the footprint one? No,
That's
that's
all
location
Sorry,
plan.
location,
Yeah.
Site block roof layouts is the one right at the top. So in fact, that it's not very clear on here, but that's what's there at the moment, the bungalow,
Yeah.
and that's what they're proposing is to sort of move it to the front of the site and move the garage back that way.
I personally don't feel it's sufficient, but I'll leave it with you. It's not our application anyway.
Would the access to the garage be off of Hart Road?
No, they've moved the access because that's the existing access, and they're now moving the access round into Vole Road.
Vole Road, right.
Maybe.
Why have we got it if it is just Hart for Hart?
Technically, postal address it's Mark,
Yeah.
but parish council wise it is Brent Knoll. It's the last house in
So
Brent
we have
Knoll.
to deal with it then.
It will probably have been sent to Mark as well because it's right on the boundary.
Right.
But it falls within our electoral area because everything sort of this side of Vole Road comes in Brent Knoll. So all the kennels that's out the other side of the motorway as well is just in our patch. But postal address and telephone, it's Mark.
But for what we've got, I would just point blank refuse it because we don't know what size it is or anything like that, how close to the road it is. As you can see, the road is going to change fully, look. So it's going to be a few metres towards the road now, isn't it? If you look,
It's back
both
from the road.
sides.
Comes back from Hart Road.
No, because that's that road here now, look at that. So that's that road where,
So
So
at the
it'll be
moment,
closer.
here's Hart Road.
see?
So you've got its corner is close there, but it moves away from it.
Yes, but then look,
It now comes right onto the
so it's right on top
the
of it.
actual corner.
And it's in more dangerous position because it's right on the corner then. So I think we refuse it at the moment until we get better, information on it.
A lot of traffic uses that Vole Road now because of the new caravan site,
Yes.
and that would impair vision round that corner.
No, it wouldn't impair vision. No.
It's a pretty tight turn into Vole Road from Hart Road.
So I mean, it's basically whether in terms of if you go for a recommendation for refusal on inadequate plans, in effect, what will happen is a decision will have to be made anyway by Sedgwick when they get round. Sorry, by Somerset when they get round to it. But come on.
My proposal is that it is an overdevelopment. They're proposing a two-storey building. It at the moment there's a single-storey building there, which is more in keeping. This is an overdevelopment, in my view, of a small site.
Is that proposal seconded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any further comments? I'm not saying any. So we have the recommendation to go with a recommendation that it should be refused on the grounds of overdevelopment and the fact that it's designed. All those in favour of that, please show. That's a unanimous vote. Okay. So that moves us on to the next item, which is we've got a proposal to amend the resolution made on the 3rd of January recommending powers to the building working group for a decision making That was minute 192/23. As part of the agenda, the new wording has been circulated, which I'll read out. It says, the clerk, as proper and independent officer of the council, shall under section 101 of the Local Government Act 1972 be given the powers by the parish council to make decisions in conjunction with the building working group on matters relating to the shop and toilet block building project, if such decisions are required in emergency situations during the build process. Further, to authorise the sum of £1,000 of expenditure in similar such circumstances. This authority is to enable the smooth running of the build. Any such decisions will be brought before any subsequent parish council meeting retrospectively.
The only difference between this and the last one was that it's power being given to the proper officer of the council rather than the working group, which is not acceptable. So that's the only difference between this one and what you voted for last month. Just to clarify that, and that is a legal position, and also to say that in fact the proper officer of the council has those powers in any event, whatever happens. Doesn't actually need a resolution. But I think it's only appropriate that since you've made a resolution previously, then we should make a resolution to confirm it.
Okay, Melina.
That previous resolution should have never been accepted though. That proposal shouldn't have been accepted at the meeting. As a proper officer, you should have said this is not correct because the working group don't have... Can I just finish my point? What you should have said was working groups don't have decision-making powers. This is not a correct proposal.
We're making a lot of noise about very little. At the end of the day, when that proposition was made last month or last meeting, I wasn't entirely sure what the position was. And the first thing I did was the following day to go back and consult, which is a good thing to do. It's always a good thing to do. I went back and consulted, and I was told that yes, a slight rewording was the most appropriate way forward. Now, if you have a problem with that, Melina, I'm surprised.
I think ultimately, I mean, it will always be the case that there will be issues that pop up as we work through agendas, and that's the whole point of addressing it as soon as we have been able to, and bringing it back tonight so that it can move forward on the way that it's been worded.
But I knew at the last meeting that working groups don't have decision-making powers.
Well, but I mean, ultimately, Melina, we can go back. I mean, we're not gaining anything by looking back over what happened or what didn't happen. What we can say is we've looked at what was resolved, we've addressed it, it's been brought to this meeting for us to finalise it, and that's what's in front of us tonight. And members can decide whether they wish to move that recommendation and vote on it. And I think that's the most sensible way forward.
Well, what alternative do you think there is? If we've made a resolution last time that clearly you're not happy with, what's the next stage of the process?
Well, obviously I'm not going to be happy with the resolution that was made last time because it was an improper resolution that should never have been made.
Which is why we're
and it should have
resolving
been picked up on at the time.
But Melina, that's the point of why we're resolving it tonight. This is the first meeting that has taken place subsequent to that. We've brought it back to the council. The council had the opportunity to readdress it, and that's what's in front of them this evening.
Yeah, but it was raised at the last meeting.
Yes. There is another point, that when a resolution is made, the only time that resolution is enforceable is if that resolution has been picked up and used by the council. This one has not. It has not been, that resolution has not been activated. So therefore nothing has been lost. Because we haven't activated it. The working group haven't made any decisions. So I'm not quite sure what your point is.
I think we will. The point has been obviously raised that we need to address this. That's what we're doing this evening, and certainly I'm happy to move the resolution from the chair that's on the papers before you. Is that seconded?
Has anybody else got any comments?
Any other comments from members? Okay. So the recommendation that's on item B before us has been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please show. And those against. And that's clearly carried by a majority. Right, that brings us to item C on the agenda, which, as I mentioned at the start of the meeting, we will need to exclude the press and public, so just to make sure that they're done properly. In accordance with the provisions of Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, the public and press will be excluded from the meeting for specific items which need to be discussed in confidence because they may contain matters of a confidential nature.
Have I got to go?
Yes, sorry, thank you, Sheila. It's...
That's sad,
That's all right.
because I like to listen.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to me. Anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come to another meeting, Sheila.
Sorry?
Come to another meeting.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, so at this point I will turn off the recording